Welcome back. This is the time to implement lambda expression practically. Here I have created a lambda demo project where I created three classes, two classes, one interface. When I look at display inter, this display inter having only one method called display. This display method doesn't have parameter and a return type. I implemented this display method in display inter IMPL class. Just given system.out.println, and this is coming from normal implementation. Then I am calling that display method in caller.java. I am initializing the display interface, display IMPL class, assigning that reference to display inter. Then I am calling a display method. This is the regular way we are doing till Java 7. In Java 8, totally changed. We can use lambda expression to provide implementation of particular interface. Now I want to provide implementation of this display method using lambda expression. If you want to provide implementation of particular interface using lambda expression, that interface should have only one method. That interface should have only one method. Then that interface should be a functional interface. This is the rule. Here I am not specifying whether this interface is a function interface or not. If you declare only one method in an interface, that interface consider as a functional interface. Otherwise, we can use at functional interface annotation. Otherwise, we can use functional interface annotation. Okay. Now we will implement the lambda expression without using a functional interface. Sorry, without using functional interface annotation. Okay. Now I am going to create a one class lambda caller. Lambda, sorry, I made a mistake. Lambda caller. When you look at the display method does not have any return type and it does not have any parameter. If you want to provide implementation of display method, if you want to provide lambda expression particular interface, your lambda expression method signature should match with your interface method signature. So the display method does not have any return value, display method does not have any parameter. How do you mention that here? I already told that, right? There is a lambda expression operator. Use that operator. The left hand side of that expression operator, we need to mention return type of your interface. In our case, display inter does not have a return type, so we need to provide empty return type left hand side of your lambda expression. I mean left hand side of your lambda expression operator. If you give like this, you are passing empty return type. If you give like this, you are passing empty return type. I am opening empty parenthesis. That means you are passing empty return type. The right hand side of the lambda expression operator, you need to pass parameter of your method parameters. In our case, display method does not have any parameter. So you no need to pass any parameter here. You can leave it as blank. After that you need to pass implementation. implementation by opening braces and closing braces, then give a semicolon. Here your lambda method implementation, your lambda implementation goes here, method implementation goes here. Okay, the lambda method implementation goes here. Okay, now I am facing some compilation error. I am giving implementation, sorry, this is from lambda expression. Okay, now I provided empty return type and I have given empty parameter, and then I have given one small implementation, which is this is from lambda expression. This entire lambda expression I need to assign your functional interface reference variable. This entire lambda expression we need to assign functional interface reference variable. What is my functional interface? This is my functional interface, because this interface having only one method. Now this method signature completely matches with my lambda implementation method signature. These don't have return type, these don't have parameter. So I can assign this entire code to this interface reference variable. How to do that? Just create a variable. Compilation error is gone. Now assign this entire expression to my interface variable. Your compiler check. Whenever assign your lambda expression to particular interface reference variable, make sure that your compiler check that this display enter having only one abstract method. It has only one abstract method. Then your compiler check whatever method you declared inside an interface, whatever method you define inside the interface, this method signature should match with this implementation. This is also no matching. I don't have any return type, I don't have any parameter. This is also matching. So it's happy to assign this expression to this variable. Now I am going to call that display inter dot display. Now let's execute this one now. See here, I am able to see the output. This is from lambda expression. The output is printed successfully. This is the way of implementing lambda expression. See, when you look at this particular implementation, I have just implemented this 3 lines. Just implemented in 3 lines, 3 to 4 lines. If your lambda expression does not have, your lambda expression is having only one line, even you don't have to mention these braces. Even you don't have to mention these braces. You can just like that give like this. Now your display inter implementation ends with single line. When you do this operation, when you do this implementation in regular way, you need to create one class, implementation class. That implementation class itself not at all required if you are going to use lambda expression. Lambda expression provides more conscious way of code implementation. This is the power of lambda expression. Now we will go to summarize our session. Lambda expression is nameless function in which no need to mention return type, method name and the parameter type. See, this is my lambda expression. I am not mentioning method name for this implementation. I am not mentioning return type for this lambda expression. I am not mentioning any parameters. For example, if you want to mention any return type, even my method does not return any value, at least I need to mention void, right? That void I am not mentioning here. Here I am not passing any parameter. If you want to pass any empty parameter, we need to open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis. I am not mentioning anything here. I have given only implementation. Then I am not mentioning my method name. Parameter type, return type, method name. Nothing I mentioned in this implementation. Only I focused implementing my business logic, implementing my programming business logic. That's it. To implement lambda expression, we need a functional interface. Now here I have created one interface called display inter. That interface having only one method called display method. If any interface is having only one method declaration, that interface considered as a functional interface. Otherwise, we can create a functional interface annotation. Using this, we can tell to the compiler this interface is a functional interface. What makes difference using functional interface without using functional interface? That we are going to see now. Okay, now I am using here functional interface. Whenever you try to declare one more method, your compiler, our Java compiler returns immediately the error. Hey, this is a functional interface. You should not declare more than one method. So here invalid. Functional interface annotation display inter is not a functional interface because you have declared two methods. That's the reason it is not a functional interface. If you remove this, compiler is happy now. It's not returning any error. This is the purpose of functional interface annotation. If you want design any interface as a functional interface, you can use functional interface. Whenever you violating the rule of functional interface, immediately your functional interface annotation throws the compilation error. You are trying to create a more than one method inside a functional interface. Like that, it shows the error. Now I am removing the functional interface annotation. Now I am going to add one more method. In this scenario, the Java compiler does not return any error. Now I am trying to use this interface reference variable as our lambda expression code. Okay, here I am trying to assign my lambda expression to this interface reference variable. Since this interface having two method declaration, our Java compiler not allowing to assign this lambda expression to this reference variable. It's throwing error. This target type of the expression must be a functional interface. Target type is, this is a target type. If you are trying to assign the lambda expression to a interface reference variable, that is ineligible because this interface having more than one method declaration. If you are not using functional interface annotation, your compiler returns the error at the time of assigning your lambda expression to a interface reference variable. If you are using functional interface annotation in your interface, Java compiler throw the error there itself. Invalid. Functional interface annotation display inter is not a functional interface because it has a more than one method. While defining your interface, if you used functional interface annotation, that time itself Java compiler throwing the error. If you are not using functional interface, our Java compiler throwing the error at the time of assigning your lambda expression to your lambda interface reference variable. This is the difference between using annotation functional interface without using annotation functional interface. Functional interface must have only one abstract method. This we already discussed. Your functional interface must have only one method. Whatever method you declared here, that by default considered as an abstract method in the case of interface. Your functional interface always should have only one abstract method. Why I am saying specifically abstract method? From Java 8, you can declare static method as well as default method as part of functional interface. I will explain about static method, default method in some other video. Just assume that your functional interface must have only one abstract method. Then it can have static method and a default method. Your functional interface method signature should match with lambda expression method signature. This is our functional interface method. This signature, whatever signature having the display method does not have return type, display method does not have any parameter. When you implement lambda expression, make sure that your lambda expression matches with your lambda expression signature matches with method declared inside the functional interface. Okay, here I am passing empty return type, empty parameter. This signature matches with display method signature. Last point, your functional interface can have static and default method. Your functional interface can have static and default method. That means in Java 8 I can provide an implementation of method in interface itself. Static get, static void get. See, in a interface I declare two methods, one is get, another one is show. Get is a static method, show is a static method. So show is a default method. Both methods having implementation. Our Java compiler not saying any error, it accepts. Okay, so function interface can have static method, default method. I will explain about static method, default method in some other video. Now just focus in this video, just to focus concept of lambda expression and functional programming. That's it. As part of functional interface, we can implement static method as well as default method. This is my last point. Okay, I want to show one more thing. In the fourth point, your function interface method signature should match with lambda expression method signature. I want to show some demo on that. Okay, now I am changing some return type here. Now display method having a return type integer type. When I try to assign this implementation, this lambda expression implementation to display inter reference variable, now this returning an error, cannot return a void. According to this lambda expression, I am returning empty return type. That is the reason Java compiler throwing the error. This expression cannot have a void type because display inter is having a return type integer. Now going back to change void. When I say void, this error is gone now. Okay, now I am going to show. Now I am going to pass some parameter. Int a. I am passing integer type parameter. When I look at lambda expression, again it's throwing an error. What is that error? Lambda expression signature does not match the signature of the functional interface method display int. It clearly says this lambda method expression signature not matching with method declared in the display inter. The display inter I am passing int argument, but in the case of lambda expression implementation, here I am passing anything. sorry, here I am passing anything, I am passing empty, I am passing blank. That is the reason Java compiler throws error. This signature is not matched with this method signature. Now I am going to remove this. Now compiler accept this statement because display method signature, lambda expression signature matching now. I hope you guys are enjoying with this video. I believe that you people are having a better understanding about lambda expression, how to use the lambda expression. In next video, I will going to talk about how to pass a return type, how to pass the parameters in the lambda expression. Until then, bye bye from Suresh Kesavan.